Hi there. Welcome to Craft with Kathy. I hope everyone had an absolutely wonderful Valentine's Day. So it's the day after, and I have something that I suppose could have been suited for Valentine's, but I wasn't really thinking of it that way, but I'll show you what I have in mind for it. Kind of a little bit different, whatever. You can tell me what your ideas would be on how to use it. But I have a question for you. What is your favorite scent? What makes you happy? What makes you relax? What makes you feel pretty? What makes you feel comfortable? What gives you confidence? What scent is your favorite scent? I'm coming at you from the suburbs west of Chicago. Drop me a line and let me know where you're viewing from. I'm going to be using a transfer and the associated cutouts with it tonight called Love Potion. Many years ago, I was employed by a fragrance company, and people used to ask me what I was wearing for my scent, and I would just kind of laugh because depending upon what the company was manufacturing that particular day, whether they did fragrances and they also did specialty soaps and things like that. So whatever they were running and how many times I had to go out into the warehouse, I was kind of like IT, well, computer operator, troubleshooter, whatever. So sometimes I'd have to go out in the warehouse and get somebody's monitor. It was before PC, so take it from there. Get something running for them or whatever. And depending upon how much time I spent in the warehouse, I would pick up the scent of whatever was being manufactured that day. So it was an interesting time. I actually never had to wear perfume while I was employed there because it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Whatever I was being exposed to would overpower my scent. So anyway, this is called Love Potions. It's really sweet. There's corresponding cutouts that match the design of the transfer. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use them yet. I have some ideas. But tell me what your ideas are and share what your fragrance scent is. I'll share mine if you share yours. Mine is actually no longer manufactured. Well, it isn't manufactured in its original scent. They did, they quit manufacturing it for a while and then came back and released a newer version. I don't know what the change was, but what I found with the newer version is that it didn't quite measure up. So I'm going to cut the transfer apart, and I'm only going to cut the transfer. I almost went ahead and cut the backer sheet with it, but I really like keeping my backer sheet intact and only cutting the transfer because then I put everything back on the sheet and I could see all my images when I flip through them in my armoire. I suppose if I stored them different ways, it might lend itself to a different way of actually taking care of them. I don't know. I really think this works well for what I do, so I'm kind of sticking with it, at least for the time being. We'll see. I change. If I find something's not working, I'm never afraid to change my approach and roll with something else. Have to be flexible, right? This also has cutouts. You don't need the cutouts. You can use this right on any surface that you want. I'm actually toying with doing it on a t-shirt. One of these, I have to see which one. No, I think it's this one. Yes. This image, it says Love Potion number 9. Does anyone remember the Beatles song Love Potion number 9? I have some transfer, an older one, that has another phrase from a Beatles song, and I'm thinking it might go really nice on a t-shirt along with that phrase. I think the phrase was used for a Valentine project a while back, but I don't know. I'd have to go look, and it's one of my older ones, and I have to admit, I don't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I'm thinking of making a little, you could use, I guess, these for your bedroom, your boudoir or whatever, or a bathroom. I'm thinking for a powder room is what I'm have in mind right now. We'll see if what I decide works for that or not. Do you ever find that when you start a project, you don't always know exactly what the finished project is going to look like? Hi, Terry. How you doing? I try to have the end in mind when I'm going live, but sometimes alter things a bit. But otherwise, I find that quite frequently you have to get into the creative process, and sometimes you'll spark an idea that you wouldn't have thought of before you began. I think it's the whole thing of giving yourself a little bit of time and relaxation to be creative and just let your mind rest a bit, if that makes any sense. I'm doing pretty good, thank you. I've had this sitting around a while and I haven't done it, and I know it's on sale right now. Look underneath the specials to find it. But I have a feeling, I know the Valentine stuff is going off sale as of midnight tonight. So, if you like this transfer, it might be something you guys want to look into. Okay, I'm not going to do any of the wording right now. So, let's start with the biggie one here. I had never seen an atomizer when I was a kid until my grandma came to stay with us one summer. And, ooh, I need to fuzz. Forgot my fuzzing towel here. Let me grab one. Of course, I don't have one handy. Okay, I guess I have to fuzz on my jeans, right? I had never seen an atomizer before. I think my mom had more perfume bottles than atomizers, actually. But my grandma had an atomizer, and it looks like this weird contraption. And I was like, what do you use that for? She probably thought, what's wrong with you, child? But I remember she put it on the top. I had an armoire in my bedroom as a kid and a long dresser. And the long dresser had this beautiful, I wouldn't say carved, maybe you would say a beautiful etched mirror on the back. And I remember my grandma having her, and both dressers had glass tops. And I remember my grandma having her atomizers, a couple of them up on top of the dresser, and they just look so pretty and sweet. So this is one of the things that this transfer reminded me of. Also, as a child, I remember someone giving me, I think it was probably an Avon version of a perfume, probably, you know, tailored for kids, children, whatever. And I remember having that on my dresser for the longest time. I didn't particularly like the scent, but I liked the little bottle or whatever. And then different people, as I grew older, would give me perfume, and I ended up with this amazing collection of bottles on my dresser. I didn't wear a lot of perfume, but I ended up having a lot of bottles. Okay, you want to make sure this transfers down nice and smooth, no air bubbles in here. And then I'm just going to apply my chalk paste. And a little bit really does go a long way here. I just want to get all the silk screen, or all the white areas where the silk screen is showing through to the surface beneath it. I want to get that all nice and covered. Smooth it out, remove any excess. I love our little cutout shapes too. They add just the right touch sometimes, a little bit of extra added dimension. But of course you don't have to have them. This would go fine even without the cutout. The cutout is a chalkable shape. It's reusable. The chalk paste will wash off of it. So if I don't like this color and want to change it up, all I have to do is spritz it with water and wash it off. Just having a little bit of a problem catching the edge there because I'm going off the bottom. Okay, there we go. Get that all cleaned up. Not much excess there. And then I'm going to lift this up using my detail tool, the little pointy end of my detail tool, so that I can hold the surface in place as I lift it. Whoops. See why I need to hold it down? Oh, isn't that just absolutely adorable? I think it's the right color for it too. I'm thinking it's Shimmer Violet, but let me check because I don't remember. Shimmer Violet. Well, that looks nice and pretty. And because it's a shimmer, it'll take maybe about 8 minutes to dry. Our normal paste takes about 5 minutes, but the shimmers take a little bit longer. So let me just kind of move that out of the way. And let's see, I'm thinking this one next, but I was thinking an amber color, but I think I'm going to go with our gold nominee paste. So I'm going to take the transfer off and fuzz it. If you don't have a fuzzing cloth, you can use a towel, you could use a sweater, you could use a pair of jeans, just something to slightly diminish the stickiness of the back. And I think I just ended up with some paste on the back, but I think that's all right. Let's kind of move it out of my way here. Anyway, so I ended up with this collection of all these different bottles, these glass bottles of perfumes on my dresser. And because of the etched mirror on the back of the dresser, it reflected, and it just was a beautiful, it really looked very, very pretty. So I did that for many, many years until one year I said, why am I carting all these bottles back and forth? I'm not using this stuff. And then I donated them. And only kept what ended up kind of being my signature scent. Having a little problem with my left hand here. Let me swap it and do it this way. The dog actually thought I had a treat for her. Her vision's failing a bit. And tonight she kind of grabbed my little finger and my ring finger, thinking it was a biscuit for her. She didn't break the skin or anything, but she kind of surprised me, and my finger's sore anyway lately. Okay, so let's go with the nominee. Hi, Deb. I am making, I'm putting some chalk paste using our Love Potion transfer on these little cutouts, and I am going to make a piece of decor either for the bedroom or for the bath or the powder room. Not quite sure yet. I think I'm going to probably put this on a 6 by 18 inch frame, but not quite sure. And I haven't yet ordered our out-of-the-box frame in that size. I do have it in 9 by 12. Absolutely love the new out-of-the-box frames because they come with an insert that is whitewashed wood on one side, stained wood on the other, but it's an insert, so you could pull it out and replace it with a refill that we have that is white chalkboard on white one side, like our Chalkable Shapes, and black on the other. So basically you could have one frame with 4 surfaces, and if you do something that you don't want to erase off of the chalkable ones, the black and white erasable surfaces, you could actually just pull it out and purchase another insert. And they're very reasonable, so I'm really excited about them. They, I think, are going to be a lot of fun. Okay. And I love our nominee. Our nominee paste is now a regular color. There was such a demand for it, and everybody loved it so much that Chalk listened, and now we could buy it anytime we want it. I don't think it's available in package yet, though. Let me hold this down with my detail tool. Okay, and this says Just Hold Me is the name of the perfume or the scent. Another one, this isn't quite a shimmer, but it's like that metallic, so I'm going to set it aside to dry because it's going to take a little bit longer to dry too. Okay, what next? How about, ooh, I don't know, this isn't it. Is this it? I love the glittery bottles with crystal stoppers and things. What can I say, right? I had moved a little bit and was doing a lot of traveling for work and found that every time I move, it was picking up all these bottles and things. And I said, why am I doing this? So it was one of those days when I got in a decluttering frame of mind and donated them all to Salvation Army. So now I just keep what I use. But it was a much prettier look, I have to admit, before I got rid of all my crystal bottles and things. Okay, I just want to make sure that this is pretty much centered on here. I want to look at the top and look at the bottom, and then of course look at the sides. And it's very easy to reposition. I've got this a little bit crooked up on the top right. My stopper isn't in the right place, or he has a little bit too much of a border. Let me try and correct that. Okay, there we go. And if you have an air bubble, just lift up and lay it back down and smooth it out. No harm, no foul. And if I do have an air bubble and I have a problem with how this is applied, don't worry about it because it's washable. Just wash it off of the chalkable shape and redo it. No big deal. Oh my goodness, look at this. My dream car. I was using this the other day when I was painting those little XO signs, and I had the cap off for a long time, so I'm going to add a little distilled water into it and give it a stir because it has thickened up. That's my issue with me leaving the lids off my jars. Oh, I might let this sit for more than a little bit. Just kind of mush it around a little and put it on a side, and I'll use a different color for this one. Thinking, what do I want? Ooh, maybe the eggshell blue would be pretty. This isn't hard, it's just, it is pretty thick. I think I'm going to need a little more distilled water. If your paste thickens up, use a little distilled water because you don't want any minerals of your tap water impacting the pigment in the paste. If you do not have distilled water, pull some paste out, put it in a little color tray, which of course I don't have any here, and use tap water. You just never want to put tap water in your actual entire jar of paste. We'll go with the eggshell blue. I love this color for Easter. I think it just fits perfectly. And it's so springtime looking, isn't it? I know they call it eggshell blue. I always want to call it robin egg blue or something like that. So I'm going to get this all covered. There, just got the top part. Smooth it out. Whoops. Remove the excess. Look at how quick and easy it is to do each of these. Really, really fast. Obviously, you could tell I must have been had this out when I was using my dream car because I've got some dream car on the lid. Okay, let's see. Could I pry this up a little bit? Okay, just some place to put my little point down. Oh my goodness, yes, I thought the eggshell blue would be perfect for my love potion number 9. Move that out of the way. Give this a little bit of a stir. Oops, had my detail tool just roll off onto my laptop. And this won't take long to absorb it. I might need to add a little bit more. Now our multi-tool is really good for stirring up your paste if you have a lot to do because the little hook on the end gets right underneath the curve of the jar. I'm going to add a little bit more and then just let this set. Let's see, what do we want to do next? How about this one that says, Kiss Me? I'm going to clean a squeegee and keep moving along with this. If you have an issue with paste drying on your squeegees, now our paste is water soluble, but if you have a problem, if you don't clean them up in a timely manner, go and check my Tuesday tip from, would have been the Tuesday before last, for something that makes it really, really easy and quick. this Tuesday's tip was about using painting with pieces of a board eraser, kind of using it as like a dauber or whatever. Okay, what color? Let's see. I have out, I thought I had out 5 different colors. I do. I've already used the violet, the Nominee. I'm going to do the green guitar. I've got the eggshell. Let me do this one. And this is Shimmer Crimson. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? A little bit of sparkle there. Let me quickly fuzz this. Now, obviously, you could pick what other colors would match your decor. I'm not happy with the color I have in the powder room right now. And it wasn't actually painted that long ago, but in reality, what's it take to paint a small room like that, right? Smooth that out, make sure I have no air bubbles. Sometimes it's easier for me to feel than to actually see. I want to make sure I get in all those little lines and get really good coverage on this one. There we go. I actually think this might be nice. I was thinking not necessarily on a t-shirt, but on another shirt, and just have random bottles kind of a little askew, just kind of scattered across the front of the shirt. I think it would be kind of an interesting top to wear. So that might be my next project with this transfer. And this one says "Kiss Me" on the label. Cover up my paste. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm notorious for leaving my covers off. And stir this up a little bit more. Your chalk paste should have the consistency of kind of like a Greek yogurt. It should be able to hold its shape, but it shouldn't be stiff. This seems a little tight yet. I'll probably give it a better mix up after I'm done, but it's pretty close to the right consistency. Still just a teeny bit thick. Let me add a little bit more water. And I find if you're using the jar and you're whipping up the paste, get a good hold on it. Don't let it go flying through the air like it did once with me. I still can't believe that. It went flying through the air and hit the wall, and my poor little dog was laying right there on her bed, and it fell, and it didn't hit her, but I just can't believe that I didn't end up with my dog covered in green paste. Okay, see, it kind of holds its shape. I think we're good with that. Okay, let's see what we've got here. We have another atomizer, and this one says, "Truly, madly, deeply." Terry, I didn't see your comment till just now. I'm assuming they're saying that you've got some atomizers. Aren't they actually beautiful little things? They just add a touch of glamour, I think. I want to make sure I'm putting it on the right way here. I think my grandma had a purple one, and I want to say a silver. Now, I recently placed an order and got the color of the month, which for February is Disco, and it is like our Nominee is for the gold, only in a silver. And I do have shimmer silver, but I think I'm going to probably do one of these, or more than one of these, in the Disco. I mean, in the Disco color when I get it. Oops. Let's try this again. I guess I'm actually better if I try and center the middle or the neck of the atomizer here first. Oh goodness, that's my little fur baby snoring over here. They are, aren't they? Terry says she had more of the crystal bottles. Yes, they are. Actually, every now and then, and probably talking about it more tonight, I'm kicking myself a little bit for donating that stuff, but in reality, probably better for somebody who might have used it. Used the fragrances for what, you know, most of the fragrances in them had evaporated because I wasn't using it. And I noticed that sometimes when perfume evaporates, it could either, the scent could be condensed or it could alter and change a little bit. I'll look around for my favorite on eBay sometimes, and I've got a good enough eye and have been searching or hunting it down long enough that I'll know that when the color has changed from a kind of a light green to more of an amber, it's probably, the scent isn't probably the same. Of course, I do have a little bottle of a concentrated one of the Parfum that is a slightly amber, and it still smells fine. Once I was at a garage sale and I saw a little bottle and I picked it up and I was like, oh, this is my perfume. And I couldn't find the owner of the garage sale, and I put the bottle back down in a little, she had it in a box on the table, and I put it back in the box. I didn't want to walk around with it because I didn't want her thinking I'm stealing or anything. And I went around looking for her and found her on the, behind her garage talking to somebody. And when I came back to the front, someone else had it in their hand and she sold it for $1. I was like, boy, lesson learned on that one. Okay, so let's take a look at these. They have to dry. The Dream Car, the one I just did, the atomizer says Truly, Madly, Deeply. The Crimson, Shimmer Crimson says Kiss Me. The Nominee says Just Hold Me. The Eggshell Blue says Love Potion number 9. And then the Violet Shimmer says Sweet Nothings. Now, these could actually be put in one of our little trays and stood up, or they could actually be put on maybe like a 6x18 frame, or maybe a 6x12, and maybe I'll make another one and put 3 and 3. Not quite sure yet. Have to kind of think that over a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. I surely do appreciate it. See you soon.